We don't see teams trying bold innovations very often, so it drew a lot of attention when Boston DiG started running some offensive sets with a reset steeply negative of the disc. Casually called the Superdump, DiG's deep resets represent an uncommon strategy, and from a team with some buzzy roster pickups that had many considering them a title contender. While traditional resets are even or 45 degrees back, DiG's deep resets will set up at steeper angles and sometimes a few steps off directly behind the thrower, and at longer distances. This offers two primary advantages. One, greater spacing for cutters, especially around the shallow lanes in the front of their vertical stack. And two, unusual angles that they can utilize after resetting the disc to immediately get it back into an advantageous position. The bigger the space per player, the more advantage the offense gains, as there's more ground for the defense to cover. By pulling both offensive and defensive bodies further away from the disc, the Superdump isolates defenders on uncomfortable islands against elite offensive opponents such as Rowan, Jeff Babbitt, and Simon Carapella. The spaces around the front of the vertical stack feel particularly exposed, allowing for cuts across the face of the stack, as we see in their matchup against Team Canada from the US Open, where Fortin's deep reset leaves space for a near horizontal throw from the sideline. As defenses try to contain these looks, they open up more spaces elsewhere, like deep or on the inside break lanes. The Superdump takes to the extreme the equation weighting field position. DiG is willing to take big losses of yardage in order to gain more in those other categories. In many cases, long resets are sent back downfield, regaining a lot of the lost yardage and gaining quality field position. Many of these looks are give-and-go moves. Those are common, especially in today's dominator-heavy metagame, but the common counter to those cuts are much harder to execute when the reset is spaced so far away. The risk is there, however, with this method of attack. When the disc moves backwards, the stack is forced to move, and the underlanes become the most viable option. Defenses can focus in on fronting their cutters aggressively in those situations, and when the continue isn't there, the offense is forced to eat a big loss of yardage. The extra breakside throws carry inherent turnover risk, which can be problematic when paired with reversing field position, and the wind might make it more difficult to execute those looks. But perhaps this novel strategy can throw defenses off enough for DiG to push through to semifinals, and with their talent and their know-how, they're a dangerous team to watch at Nationals. For more on all the teams and stars that'll be at the club championships, make sure you're following Ultiworld.